Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another DMing Hadley game. I'm DMing Hadley in case that was any kind of a question. Today we are playing Assault on Ravenloft, boy howdy, you guys have had quite the time here. I'm excited to see what happens next because y'all are in this like dungeon dimension, this liminal space. It's pretty disturbing. See malice, demons just manifesting out of nowhere, eyes just popping up in the sky, looking at you, checking you out, just peeping on you. It's weird. It's weird. All this darkness to go around. Can't wait to see what you do with it. This is, let's see here, season 3. I think it's episode 5. I've titled this episode Halo and Spire. I'm sure that neither of those things will present themselves in this session at all. It'll just be some words I came up with and put on a digital sheet of paper and won't have any impact at all on y'all as players or the characters that you play. Don't worry about it. Just let it slip away into your subconsciousness and then just throw it away with all the compliments that people have given you over your lifetime that you deserved and you don't think that you did. Looking at all of you. So I'm not going to go too long because I want to play Dungeons & Dragons is what I want to play Dungeons & Dragons, of which there's about 1/2 of a dragon, maybe like a 16th of a dragon, but you are technically in the dungeon dimension.
A 16th?
Yeah.
Only a 16th?
Of a full-size dragon. You've got a wyvern.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
Yeah. And they're babies, so...
Wyverns are types of dragons.
Yeah. They're types. I mean, then there's exactly one dragon, and technically you're in a dungeon dimension. So I've delivered on my promise for Dungeons and Dragons. That's all I'm saying. I'm giving you what you want, what you paid for. I'm giving it to you. There it is. Dungeons and Dragons. Congratulations. You have achieved the highest order of Dungeons and Dragons. But, okay, enough bloviating. Round robin. We got to do the round robin. During the round robin, we like to do forcing things. First thing we do is introduce ourselves. Second thing we do is share with one another and the world our pronouns. The third thing we do is introduce our characters. And the fourth and final thing we do is offer a vivid aesthetic description of those characters. Why? You may ask. Well, it's because I like to vividly hallucinate with my friends on the internet for 2 to 3 hours at a time, 7 days a week, often multiple times per day. And today is no different. So without further ado, Crowman, why don't you take it away and show the folks at home how it's done.
All right, I'm Crowman. I go by he, him, and I be playing another medic today. Young human, about 26, 5 feet 11. People say that. He's a sorcerer and a monk, both of the draconic kind. He was abandoned by his mother, raised by his father. They cruise around different vessels in the ocean and between different islands until Nolan just set out on his own and found other crews to be part of. Eventually, he fell into the sea in a mishap between water creatures and a bronze dragon that revealed his, innate magic. And the best way he could find the best place he could find to just train his magic was a monastic temple where he learned martial arts, fighting styles, use of certain magics, and plenty of other stuff. Eventually, he left to just follow the breeze of the sea and see where else he could explore the world and find some purpose. He reached the mercenary guild, and that led him into an adventure where he struck a rivalry with a captain that destroyed the same monastic temple, killed everyone, and then later on in several array of pursuits, managed to cut off Noller's right hand, now replaced by a living middle hand. As of now, he is in the midst of Ravenloft and the Domains of Dread, assisting this band. Well, that is just still struggling to keep moving on.
What's he look like?
Mm.
What's he wearing?
Sometimes you ask that, sometimes you don't. How he look is basically black shirt, black pants, black leather boots, braces on both hands, a half coat, basically what you expect a monk of, just striking half the body, made of leather, color blue, with a nice way that is with a sash underneath and some straps of attached to the belt, and also a blue headscarf.
Perfect. Thank you, sir. Much appreciated. A wild Pix and Pixels appears.
I'm so sorry for being late.
It's okay.
Yay, well
I'm just glad.
done.
Listen.
Me.
I'm just glad you're here. Glad you're here.
Glad to be here.
Do you want to do the round robin now?
Oh, am I voiced?
No. The round robin. Do you want to do the thing where you introduce yourself and use pronouns, character?
I would like to do that, yes.
Do it!
Me?
Yeah.
I just asked you about its voice and you said no.
In what's voice?
First.
First voice?
First.
First.
First. Voice is first.
First.
It's just with an accent.
Thirst voice. Hearst voice.
Everybody, my name is Pix and Pixels, but you can call me Pix or Pixie or Pixie Pie. My pronouns are she, her, and tonight I'll be playing Glint. Also, apologies. I'm feeling a little sick, so my voice may not be in top shape tonight. But I'll be playing Glint tonight. She's a magical psycho mime girl with ties to the Raven Queen. She's a female, Kalish star, grave cleric who really loves shiny things. She's about 5'5", has angry fuchsia eyes, pale, nearly white skin, and her mime makeup, which she does herself, making her face look even paler. She's not a social lass, but she's become more so ever since joining this group of friends, including befriending Svetlana, who is the star of this story. She has raven black shoulder-length hair that she keeps free-flowing, and she's gone through not one, 2 resurrections ever since she gave up her physical form for the goddess Sayanine to bring her back to life. But now she is dressed in a sparkly jet black moonbeam dress with raven feathers lining the bottom and neckline, poofy shouldered sleeves that become taut at her upper arm and extend past her hands and overlap her fingers somewhat. She's also adorned with a silvery tiara centered on her forehead with a raven's eye as the central gem, and never without that extremely radiant diamond necklace. Only it seems to be a phantasmal version, appearing like a tesseract as it rotates without a string to anchor it. Of course, her signature moon sickle, which used to be a pink metal moon-shaped blade with a spike through it, and is transformed now into a nasty, wicked-looking, shiny silver moon sickle, adorned with black trimmings of ravens and fancy designs. And then she's got her pointy Mary Janes, and I believe that's it for her.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I need to organize my notes for her because they are all over the place.
Oh, nice. You went through it pretty well. I enjoyed it. I thought it was great.
Glad you did. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thanks, Pix. Mr.
problem.
John, why don't you take it away, bud?
John, he, him. Today I will be playing Esmeralda Had Common Heart. Esmeralda Had is about 3'2". She has sandy blonde hair and freckles and hazel eyes, hazel green. And she has a monstrous tattoo across her chest and torso of a bear, and she is a monk barbarian fighter who occasionally transforms into a bear and does what Ativa is doing right now with her beautiful golden locks. Yeah, exactly. And attacks and rips people apart and moves pretty quick. Has big nunchucks that change size for her tiny hands. And that's Ez.
Nope. Jumbo.
Hello, I am Jimbo. He, him pronouns. Today I play Farul. Farul is a wizard. Do description, go to there. Stands about 6'3", 154 pound. No, 154 age, 172 pound. Farul does not care to go about amongst the living. It is just something he has learned in his many years. Those that have seen Farul, or Parula, or Cinder, or Erelis, or Master Ash, or Astashan, or any of the other countless names attributed to him, would describe him as having sharp, perfect features and porcelain skin, with shoulder-length, curly white hair and matte black eyes with no sclera. And a jagged, deep scar crosses his throat from ear to ear, a memory from his youth. He wears items of all black, gray, or white, items at the height of fashion 2 or 3 centuries ago, with the age to match. He will often be seen with Spirit and Shade, his Spirit Thrall and Shade Familiar, respectively. His closest friend is a simulacrum of himself and takes as many names for himself as Farul, but they're usually both tending to their own side of the agenda.
Good.
That is Farul.
Very good. I like it. I like it. Speaking of the undead, zombified Ativa Panic.
Hello, I'm Ativa Panic. I use pretty much all the pronouns because I'm greedy. And today I will be playing Svetlana Ivanova Strad. She is a Dampier blood hunter barbarian and little bit rogue, although I haven't really played into that very much. And she is 6'2", but wearing 20-inch tall combat boots. So she struts around at a whopping like 7'10". Has long black raven hair, and what else? Giant scar in the middle of her chest. Doesn't really like to wear clothes, but she does because she's a lady. In all senses of the word.
She's a lady.
In all senses of the word. So you can always very clearly see the giant scar that's in like the middle of her chest. That she got upon entering Ravenloft. And yeah.
It matches the one right beside it from where you had your heart ripped out of your chest.
Important backstory detail.
I forgot that. I always forget that happens. That happened. Like, completely. Apparently, landing on the Spire, like, traumatized me way more than my ex-husband ripping my heart out of my chest.
One of those you've had time to deal with and come to terms with. The other one was like a week ago.
Yeah, one of them you've had a lot of time to process it.
Yeah.
Right.
But no closure. And the other time you've had closure, but no time to process it.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But yeah, that is Svetlana. And yeah, that's all she's got right now. She lost her circlet and her other shoes. So not her cloak though, right? She has her cloak on, right?
You should have asked Devin where he got his shoes.
I'm pretty sure she's had her cloak on the whole time. Because I did fly after Devin.
Correct.
So. Okay. But yeah, that's Svetlana. And I don't actually have any art to share right now because I am on my phone. So.
It's okay.
Boo.
Okay. You should save it to your phone from the Discord and then use it as your background.
Oh, I totally do, actually. I don't, wait. Can I like just share my background?
Just change your background on your, just apply effects and change your background to the picture of your character. Like, you know,
Oh yeah.
other people in the game.
Yeah. Sorry, that's just like way too much work. Sorry, like way too much work.
They said about any work at all.
Yeah.
Look at young Atiba with the blue hair. Oh, it's not.
Oh, I have to be like this if it's gonna be like that.
There you go. But that's, you know what? At least it looks. Oh god. Why can I hear myself?
What? Oh, I don't know. Oh, because I don't know, because I turned my phone. Maybe is that
Probably
why?
where
I
your
don't
hand
know.
is. No, God, that's bad. Oh, hate that. Okay.
Yeah. No.
Bye. That was great.
Bye.
I'm gonna. Okay.
Is that better?
I guess.
Can you still hear yourself?
I know.
Wait. Was that an I know or no?
No, I said no. I said no.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so you just can't see her eyes, which actually don't matter because the eyes in this picture aren't even fucking accurate anymore. Thank you.
Oh, why? What happened?
That was your wild magic surge. Don't thank anybody but yourself.
I know. You know what? Listen.
I'm listening.
It's not your fault, and I actually never said that it was.
Okay. Well, you seem everyone else tries to blame me for all the things that happen in these games.
No,
like
everything else is actually your fault.
Fucking in charge.
Everything else is actually your fault.
I don't know, Hadley. You could have just said like your hair changes color.
I did set it on the thing. I'm not responsible for what's on the thing.
No, it's a table, so you gotta follow the table. I get that. Which is why I don't blame him. Which is why I don't blame him for that. But everything else is his fault.
Everything else. Yeah. Cool. Thank you, Ativa. Xander. What's up, homie? Hey, what you got? A fresh picture there, son? What's up?
I got a nice rhyme for you today too.
Okay. All right, do the thing.
Completely ignoring the format, purely despite Ativa, we're gonna just jump right into the rhyme.
Wow.
The tiny terror in her memory banks, there is an error. She'll step on you, though not for free. Her uncle is Vecna. Death is her only creed. On a quest to disappoint her father, her first one-night stand may turn out to be a bother. Narracine. I am Xander, he, him pronouns. And yeah, I'm only playing Narracine Clover. No Clover, just
no Clover.
It's her brother now. Yeah, just Narracine. I believe right now she's kind of armored up in her like serpent scale with leather corset, all that fun stuff. Just trying to look good because she saw some bitch getting close to the guy she'd been trying to get. Some words need to be exchanged.
Weird.
You really need to get over it. Like, I literally hate that demon's guts, okay? You really would just, like, need to move on.
I don't know what to tell you. I know what I saw. I know what I was told what I saw.
Sweet. Did everybody do the thing?
These.
Okay, sweet. Well, that just leaves me, DMing Hadley. He, him pronouns here for 65% or so of your DMing needs. Because I don't do maps. I'm allergic to maps. True. Every time I look at a virtual tabletop, I break out in Tourette's. Bad. It's Dungeons and Dragons time. So, quick question, guys. What's going on? What's happening? What's up? What you doing? What's happening?
Wait.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead, Pigs, because you weren't in the last session.
Yeah, I was gonna say Glint was an NPC because I wasn't able to make the last session. So I'm not really super aware, but I'm hearing now that Svetlana's a zombie.
No, Ativa's a zombie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I can't show you because we're live now, but
Yes, you can. It's fine.
Don't we have radar?
no,
wanted
to say-
but even if it's rated R, I'm pretty sure if you like show that kind of stuff, it's against TOS.
Just go like this,
I
real
wanted
quick.
to ask
Just like this, bam.
earlier.
Just like that.
Just 1, 2, 3, bam.
It's just stitches, by the way, pics. Just to let you know, it's not like super duper bad, but it's also not pleasant.
It's
to
not
look at.
body horror. It's body
But-
horror.
How?
Yeah.
Also weirdly apt because of the trial.
No, bad. Nope, nope, no, 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 no,
But
no,
no.
nope, no.
No, I
Nope.
was just being really stupid with a knife. And I kind of sliced my finger in half.
I don't
Yeah.
want to imagine that.
Yeah, it was bad.
Classic Ativa.
It's fine. You'll be.
I
It's mild,
handled it,
honestly.
honestly, I handled it like a champ. I only cried like once.
Tiva.
You're
And,
well enough to make Snapchats about it. They're fine.
Yeah, I was actually, once my sister got there and like started lightening the mood, the like anxiety and panic receded, and we were just at that point kind of just acting drunk. So it was great.
Okay, but besides chopping your finger off, what happened last week? Anybody?
Fish demons.
And that's correct. Fish demons. Fish demons happened last week. What else?
Oh yeah.
Do I still
got
have my
the left
demon
hot
boy?
one.
No,
No.
that was weeks ago.
I know, but it was.
He died.
He died.
They all died. They had to die for you to live.
They were supposed to be friends.
Nope. It's not how it works. Not with demons.
Why is it everyone that Glint makes friends with ends up disappearing or dying at some point?
It's called narrative stakes.
I refuse Glenn's friendship.
Friends before. Sorry. You were saying?
Jimbo, I think
Jimbo?
you were the one saying.
Yes.
I said I refuse Glenn's friendship.
Probably smart at this point.
That strangely sounds like a kindness in this regard. You guys fought fish
Also,
demons.
Hadley-
Correct. Yeah.
Hadley-
Yes.
Yes. Also,
yes.
Zero Ruth said something to me and then flew off, but I can't remember what he said.
You can't remember the very, very important thing that Zero Ruth said to you?
I can't.
Does anyone else remember the really poignant and important thing that Zero Ruth said?
No,
Yeah,
I just
Rob
remember something
Rob
that
looks
changed
like
was
he
my
remembers a
man.
thing.
I have this in memory. Now, basically, when you were bemoaning your pangs of anger, wild surges, and also your beast form, if you could say, Cedarroot said that you only need to ask if you want that hybrid form removed.
The demon inside of you.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, and then I raged, and then the last
And
thing
then-
I said was Haslan, right?
And Hadley made a demon in you joke.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
It wasn't in that order, actually.
Yeah, but yes.
But okay, so yes, okay. So we're okay. I think I remember.
Are
So
you
yeah.
back?
So yeah,
Okay.
I'm caught up now too. So yeah, picks. We fish demons, and then Zero Ruth, the demon guy that Miracine has hots for, was like telling me that I could get the beast within me taken out, and then he flew away, and now we're in dungeon world.
The dungeon
Oh.
dimension, technically.
Oh, also, I brought my wyvern egg out while we were getting into the rift, and it grew.
Correct.
Well, it solidified. The wyvern grew.
Cool.
Pretty neat. Pretty neat. Yeah, so you guys are in this inky, dark, gray, seemingly lightless space. there's enough sort of variation in the grays and the darks that you can see kinda. There's no direct source of illumination. Things just seem to have this sense like light falls upon them.
I have true sight.
Then you see that. Actually, Narasine, roll me an Arcana check.
Oh, I was just fucking around.
Originally, it was injuries, and then it went to weed.
Come on, fuzzy dice. 17.
Okay. As you look down into the sort of rippling waters, I believe, Noller, you took the ship up out of the sea of malice.
Yeah, and all the fish folk just started to diving back into the water once they realized that was happening.
So looking down, Narasine, there's a strange sort of swirling in this sea. It undulates, little waves, but it doesn't have like an ocean with cresting waves. But as you look down, you ever seen the bottles with like the swirly, glittery pearlescence? Looking down, it's like a charcoal bath bomb with that swirling sort of effect to it.
Glint is trying to grab some of that with a vial.
It's a shame because you're like several hundred feet up now.
Oh man, I thought we were close to it.
You were, but as you wake up, no, what's up, everybody?
Maybe maybe she like tries to dive off to get some, and then
do you want to dive off the ship into the Sea of Malice?
I could see her trying, yeah.
You could do it. No one's gonna stop you. I'm not gonna stop you.
Can we stop her?
I mean, you could try.
That's the thing. I'm playing my character here. She really likes shiny, glittery things.
It is shiny and glittery. It looks like a nice, beautiful, glittery,
shiny
bath bomb in a huge sprawling ocean.
If Glyn tries to dive off the ship just after waking up, I'm just gonna grab her and just hold her just to avoid it.
Yeah, Yativa.
Glint is fighting. She's struggling. Also, did anything happen to Glint's last session that I need to know about?
No.
Okay.
Nothing.
Yeah, Tiva.
I think that as Svetlana sees Glint's eyes, because I'm thinking like Glint came out of of the underside of the deck to like be like, what's all the commotion out here? And if she steps outside and I see her eyes widen, I immediately
shiny
shuffle up to her, because didn't I just recently get shot by something too?
I mean, let's see here.
I got, because remember that I was in Zero's arms, and then something like came through my chest.
Yeah, got a few good times.
So I see her eyes though, and I'm happy to see her because I'm hurt, and so I just like speedily walk over to kind of clenched and holding my chest, and I just say, "Thanks."
Nope.
No
Glint.
shiny. Sorry, Glint. No shiny. Not right now. Not right now. We have bigger problems.
Fair.
Glint, as you step out, you see two giant blue eyes in the distance as they're looking down over this ship, begin to close and fade back into the darkness.
Okay. Anyone want to tell me about the baby blues we're looking at?
The what?
And then she points directly at the eyes.
We crossed the rift. We are in what was this place again? Somewhere in the abyss with all these demons.
The dungeon dimension.
Dungeon Dimension, that was it.
And those eyes just opened a moment ago. And technically, they opened at the end of the last session.
Right.
And then she puffs
And now
her
they're
cheek out.
closing.
She's like, well, I know exactly as much as I knew before.
Well, you're not gonna get much from us because that's all we know. Zero Road over there in the distance, is he fighting demons? And
Should we try
probably-
to fight it?
Yeah. He's tearing demons into little bits up in the sky. And you can see their bodies raining down and splashing back into the Sea of Malice.
okay. Before he comes back, Ferul, do you know anything about this dimension?
Of course I do.
And rolls a history check. I also didn't quite resolve Narasim's thing, so I'll get there in just a second.
We got a nat 1.
Great. That's very exciting. Here I'll cast exposition for you. The dungeon dimension is a liminal space. It is a space between the dimensions where malice from all of the dimensions pools. All of the planes of existence touch the dungeon dimension, and like little rivers, tributaries flowing into this space. Malice grows, and from that malice, demons are formed. They are almost secreted as the density of malice increases. The real problem here in the dungeon dimension is that it is not a mappable sort of space. It is fluid. The edges
Like a
of it
dream.
constantly growing and shifting. And your relative position to other things constantly in flux. As Ferul, I don't know if do you think you've ever been to the dungeon dimension before?
No.
Okay. There is one other thing here. And that is that the dungeon dimension is ruled over by an entity known as the Lady of Pain. She lives up to her name. Yeah.
I thought that she had a different dimension.
She's got
Yeah.
a few. She's not the.
Doesn't-
Let me rephrase how I put that. She is a powerful entity, and the dungeon dimension. It's sort of like the outskirts. In the sense that like you have the castle and the king and the castle, and then there's sort of just like this sprawling expanse. The dungeon dimension is sort of the sprawling expanse around well, you don't know too much about the history there, except that she's got some influence over this sphere.
So, I mean, I know that the dice said that I rolled a 1, but since my whole character's basic idea stems from what she did, what the Lady of Pain did with Sigil, and that whole bit of information, that would be something that he is kind of basing his belief around for undead.
Mhm.
And so I think instead of it being a nat 1 for not
Oh, it's
knowing
not
anything, it's probably
yeah.
it's probably a nat 1 from overexcited.
There's also a lot of risk associated with this. It's a narrative one, not a mechanical one. It could be a difficult situation were you to find yourself in their presence.
Of course, most people that find themselves in our present end up poofing into nothingness or infinite pain till death, and all that fun stuff. Yeah, the god that's not a god. Yeah. Which means that we're in the middle of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
From this dimension, if you think about it like a ring, we are in the middle of everything, and from it we can go off to anywhere.
Can I get perception checks from everyone, please?
Oh, great.
No.
No. I'm not looking. You can't make me.
That was a 4 plus 5. 9.
You just want to get in that shiny water. You're just like, no, I want to get it.
Don't get snapping me.
4 plus 8, 12.
22.
Okay. As you look out, Noller, it's weird. It's weird because the Sea of Malice seems to just sort of like go on interminably. Except you see what looks, I don't, kind of like Yeah. Are you raising your hand? Are you being deeply respectful?
I got a 22.
Okay. All right. The two
I
of
got
you
an
are.
8. I got an 8 and a 22, but
I think you look and see Noller's face going like, "What the fuck?" And turn around and witness the same sort of weird effect, which is that it looks like a black, like sewing needle, that sort of like sticks up, and there's this weird sort of distended effect. It looks almost like if you like a bridge that sort of goes up so high you can't see where it comes down on the other side. Except that it definitely just keeps going up and up and up, giving it this almost curved effect. And it at the very tip of it, it looks like a star in the sky, billions of miles away. It's the only source of illumination. Full stop.
Based on what Ferrell said, does anybody else know more or less well about the Lady of Pain or Sigil?
would I know anything about her?
Roll me a history check.
Can I also try, even though I'm bad at smart things?
Yes.
'Cause I have all those books and I've been reading.
Yes.
I got a 12.
I'm gonna try too. It's an 8, so no.
11 flat.
Nope. Nobody did good? Okay, cool.
Depends on what 12 is.
12 is not good.
And there goes Sativa.
That was cool.
But
we didn't need her anyway, guys. Don't feel like.
She is the titular character.
No, she's not. She's our character. It's like everybody
She
else.
is the star of the show.
No, wrong.
And Rule casts Pocket Dimension and pulls out a big, huge chest and starts rummaging through it. It has some scrolls and stuff in it, but he's pulling out books that he has on this area, written by other wizards or travelers through the plains.
Cool. What did you get? What did Farul get? Or did you do another
for
check?
my perception?
Yeah.
Or what were you looking for?
Let's do this. Roll me a history check for Farul. Welcome back.
There you go, that's
It was horrible without you. I couldn't.
He shit talked you.
That's a dirty 20.
I can love someone and still shit talk them.
That's a lot, yes.
So it's how it's my shit talk is my love language.
That's true.
Okay, so Farul with a 20, and Svetlana with, did you say a 21 for Svetlana? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The concept of the crux is, I mean, like Jimbo had sort of stated, you guys are at the middle of everything. The problem, there's sort of twofold. First, getting to that point, the middle of middle. It's not like this plane of existence where I could just go over to Fremont and be at the center of the universe. In this case, you have to go way out of your way to get there. And once you're there, things are very unpredictable. Where everything converges, which this planet has been a good example of over the last 2 years now. Weird. Things start to overlap. Things happen for no apparent reason. The denizens nearest to the center are both deeply affected by magic, and here's where things get really disturbing, but cannot use magic. So there's sort of like cast off, like again, like tributaries of malice running into the sea of malice. So too do the energies and magics of different planes. And when they start to overlap, there's interesting things happen. The crux itself, and I'm not going to 100% pull sort of the idea of Sigil into this, but it is going to share a lot just because of the mechanics of the space. The crux itself is sort of like, the best way to explain this. It is the center axle at the hub of the spokes. Sigil is the hub that all of the other spokes connect to. The crux is the axle around which all of it spins. Does that make sense? Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. So the issue of getting out is that there's no telling exactly how you're going to be able to do it, or what it'll take, or if you guys will all end up in the same place when you do.
Basically everything we've been through so far again.
Weird how that works. Weird. It's like the circle theory for Star Wars.
Okay. So if I understood what Ferul and Sveti were speaking about, because they more or less they explained this, we are either in a cross of a crux or at the dumpster under the crux because of all the demons and everything that is wasted, basically laid to waste under here.
Yeah, you guys
And
are definitely in the sewers underneath the dumpster, which is may or may not be on fire.
Well, in that case, we just either need to go on a random direction or up and hope for the best.
Dudley, are you telling me that we're in Schrodinger's dumpster fire?
Yes, that is exactly what I'm
Okay.
saying, and I appreciate that you get it.
Are we waiting on the demon, or are we actually? We probably should. We still he won't be so
Is he
keen.
not buying time for us though?
He
I
was
don't know.
tearing. He was tearing apart. Uh-oh, what was that? Was that me echoing in somebody's phone?
No, that was me. I was trying to say something, but it's past.
What? But nothing was said. Now it's past.
Yeah, Hadley, time isn't real.
I was just going to ask, so we're going up?
You're going yonder. Up is a relative term.
Zero will be able to follow us. He will come over this way. It will be fine, I say to Noller.
He will be able to follow us unless he can't follow us because we've gone through. Hadley, are you using the door terminology in the area, or there's
Doors
portals all over the place?
Doors okay. Yeah, the concept here, as you and I think Ferul, you're probably going to be ahead of the curve when it comes to identifying what you see here. Which, as I promised, a Halo and Spire. I'll say this: there are no established portals in this space. There's no Stargate waiting for you to take you where you want to go. There's just a disturbing liminal veil which meanders and can be triggered by God only knows what.
When you know what you're looking for, you can find it, but when you don't know what it is, it could sneak up on you and suddenly appear.
Uh-huh. And even if you know what you're looking for, those standards may have changed from the last time you were looking for them.
And just to really point out, we're all going to become fairly useless, those of us that use magics of any kind.
I'm sorry, what? Also, my food is here. I'll be right back. But also, when you say magic, do you mean like all magic, like all magic? It's just like
and then Narasine literally goes to the door to get her Uber Eats.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Don't worry about it, you dumbass, really. But anyway, else any direction that seems better direction than the others, or are we just gonna go to Ferrol and maybe help him out of courtesy?
Zero Ruth. Let's see if Zero. Yeah.
Zero Ruth told us to go. Did he not? Zero Ruth told us to go. We could just we should just go.
You're not beholden to him.
Okay, if that's the case, I say go eeny miny miny mo, go upwards diagonal in northeast.
Okay. Roll me a sleight of hand. Sleight of hand check.
Why is this sleight of hand?
Just bear with me.
19.
Okay. As you are moving towards this spire-like structure, you focus dead ahead. But as you sort of like shift, just almost imperceptibly to one side, you begin to see that this rising line has almost blade-like structures which protrude out. They're almost invisible from your perspective until you turn the ship ever so slightly and begin to see that there's like almost a two-dimensional nature to this rising curvature. You shift the boat, whoom, whoom, like you're trying to dodge a moose. And all of you feel this like sling from side to side. And we see sparks, like black sparks, along the edge of the starboard side of the boat for just a moment.
That's awesome.
And begin to sort of like correct and keen upwards. And as you come up, you can see just like almost a razor edge with just the finest reflection of this blue-white light up in the distance. Yes.
Am I still raging?
No. But there's sort of like smaller spires, virtually imperceptible from a straight-on trajectory. If someone was, let's say, driving a boat or an airship at full speed, thinking they could just be like, "Well, I just go over here," they would probably get cut in half. And then fall into the Sea of Malice, and then a bunch of laughing demons would consume them. But you got a 19, so there's just some sparks. It's not so bad.
Okay, so this place is some two-dimensional obstacles. Great. So other than that, our traveling, do we spot anything? Do we come across anything? Do we reach anywhere?
It seems like an interminable amount of time. One would say that just standing around twiddling your thumbs, you could even get a short rest in.
Oh.
By the way, Noller, just to point it out, your ship flies via magic, so we might want to be careful about where we go in the ship.
Would I just
Well-
go fully blind in those no magic areas? Hadley? Oh,
Let's
okay,
find
so-
out.
so
Let's
it
find
might
out
be,
together.
Ferul,
my
is that the
tactic.
case? Can you do something with I don't know, use an arcane eye and just scout forward to detect what places are those? Scout with magical sight or something?
Scrying?
Interesting concept. I feel like doing something like that could be magically walking into a trap, but I can try. I've never been here, so yes, let's try. I can't find it.
Are we there yet?
Absolutely not.
How about now?
Nope.
Wait, who's talking?
Hi, everybody. It's the world. No.
Okay, so it'll take me 10 minutes.
Okay. Well, you've got them. There's a few minutes to burn here. You guys might get into long rest territory before you get there. You might be stuck here forever.
That's great. I might actually get the spell slots back that I won't be able to use.
Yeah. You know what? Hey, for rule,
Mm-hmm.
roll me a d20, would you? Just a regular old 20-sided die.
You may have a 19.
Okay. Well, guys, you got 19 hours to burn.
Okay.
With the ship just blasting, just like it's not usually when this ring is even just like going, it still looks like thin wisps of gray smoke, silvery gray smoke coming off of it. This looks more like a propane torch of gray smoke right now. It is coming just like inaudibly. And you guys are just like beelining. And fortunately, Noller was keen enough to get out of the way of this thing, and so you're sort of traveling next to this two-dimensional, almost mirror. And you can see in the darkness the reflection of the ship, like a gray version of it along the edge, and you can see where the top of it is because over it you can just see nothing. And as you go and go and go, you hear whizzing past you the screeches of demons, and like bugs on a windshield. You actually hear the front of the ship battered. And you can see demons just like hit the front of the ship, splatter, and you can just see a streak of gray entrails along the mirror, just like and gone because you guys are traveling so quickly, and you're gonna do it for 19 hours.
Okay, if we're pretty demons are getting splattered all over this place, then I'll go ahead and find whatever supplies I can, because the ship is repairing itself magically, but I
Yes.
want to find a way that maybe I can speed up the process or aid in the process, because this thing has taken a beating.
I'm just gonna let you. I mean, like honestly, mending can do it. And I mean that's a cantrip, isn't it?
Okay, if you let me
So,
use mending
yeah,
just all
it's
over the place, I'm gonna spend my time mending, just so even if something happens again, maybe this thing won't just fall, just crumble. And also because I need to take more care of it.
very good. That's very good, actually. Excellent. Sveti,
I hope the
Guys?
elemental appreciates it.
Yeah.
Can I spend my time reading in the library as well as trying to contact Vecna?
Yes. Let's start with what do you want to read?
I guess I would take a look at the ever updating book.
Okay.
I would check on my brother again, just make sure all that data.
Mayhem, violence.
Good.
Very different. Yeah, no, very like horrific smokes and fires. The city of Senwell has burned multiple times. Also the city has grown tremendously. Everything like the Senwell is just sort of like a small village. It is now a sprawling sort of like metropolis of evil entities. And all of the like beautiful soft green lushness of that space has this almost like post-industrial like apocalyptic aesthetic to it.
Great! I can't wait to go there one day, visit my brother, and treat his people like shit.
Yeah, they love it, but
Okay,
only
great.
because he makes them love it.
Good. As it should be.
Yeah.
I guess from here, I would like to. Does the book have anything on those magic zones, or there's no magic zones?
On how the no magic zones work.
Yeah.
Roll me an investigation check, please.
Since we're not in a no magic zone, can I cast guidance on myself first?
Yes.
Because once we're in there, let me tell you, I'll just be good at taking it to the chin, and this guidance isn't going to help. So I might as well take it to the face. All right, that's a 6.
Yeah, there's 6 blank pages towards the back.
It's like,
Literally nothing on them at all.
That makes sense. Magic wouldn't permeate. Okay, yeah, okay. So I'll just close that book, and I guess, yeah, I'll
Great.
start.
Roll me a
process for
Constitution
Vecna.
saving throw, please.
Oh, okay. 18.
Okay, sweet. It feels like the skin is being flayed from your body. Yeah, it's really something. And then it feels like about 10,000 beetles are cleaning the flesh from your bones. And then you can feel the fire inside of your marrow, burning your bones to ash. And then you are standing on a hill, a pretty significant spire of its own, atop which there is a significant, just entropied throne. It's a pretty steep hill here. There's not really like a good place to, like, there's no precipice to like set upon. But as you find yourself clinging with what little bleeding fingers hanging onto this sharp rock, you look up and you see Vecna in tattered robes and sunken face, and one gleaming eye, and one missing arm, looks down and says, "What have you done to honor me?"
Well, first, I did set up that little shrine to him back in the church, back in the territory.
Paltry. It feels, you can feel the heat of this undead breath wash over you. It is not a pleasant experience.
I have helped instill family who is grateful towards me and thus grateful towards you for their power. So their power is at your disposal. I've been constantly handing out pamphlets. And now that that pesky cleric is gone, I'll be able to.
Can you say this all through feeling a incorporeal hand choking the shit out of you and dragging you up off of your feet into the space in front of the throne here? No, you got to turn off your sound, your noise cancellation, so that I can hear you struggle.
It's happening.
I really feel like I was really trying to do my best. Between me and me,
You just sound like a cartoon troll.
Yeah. You feel yourself being like yanked close to Vecna, and then you feel yourself being, as the kids would say, yeeted. And as you feel yourself being yeeted, you feel yourself also being thrown across your room into the far wall. And you're going to take 10 points of bludgeoning damage as you hit the wall and then the floor. Anyone who's below deck will hear that clatter. And you realize that you've made Papa Vecna very mad. you're going to have to work a lot harder. And you begin to, like, when you blink, your vision already is starting to blur, as if he's trying to recall that eye, or at least let you know he can.
I immediately start working on much better new pamphlets. And spread the
Roll me a
gospel.
roll me a wisdom saving throw.
What? What? Why?
Yeah, roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Feel like I should use my inspiration here.
No, don't.
Okay, 18.
No. Okay. No, that's good. That's good. You feel, it feels like someone took an ice pick and shoved it just in the inside of your tear duct, and your it's your left eye's the Vecna eye, right? Yeah, it feels like in the right eye. It just feels like there's a needle sticking back into your brain. Pamphlets is not gonna do it.
Oh, blood sacrifice it is. All right.
Yeah, you're gonna have to really, really come out here and make a real strong showing for Vecna, because you've been pussyfooting around for too fucking long. And if you don't get your shit together, they're gonna start taking their shit back.
All right, I'm just gonna start cutting off hands and eyes from here on out.
Okay,
Fine.
let's get back to work, is what Vecna says to you.
Getting some Dr. Facilier vibes from this character now.
Just saying. Farul, what do you do with your time?
We first things is we look around and think about what's going on here, the fact that we could crash at any moment, but then noticing our crawling claw swarm, and you all in this bag. And so they all climb into the bag. He seals it up. He puts it into the chest. He takes out some of the books that he has in the chest that aren't magical books, but are just like journals and poetry and stuff like that, that doesn't need to be in the chest, so that way he can make room. But he keeps the scrolls that he has in there. The scrolls that he has on his person, he takes and puts in there. Seals that up, uses pocket dimension again, slides it into the pocket dimension, closes that. If anybody sees that, he kind of just says, so you don't die from them. And then he kind of like reaches up behind his ear into his hair and pulls out, and there's this tiny little floating shade. And he leans in and whispers, we could end up losing connection. If we do, I will bring you back as soon as possible. Or if you wish to not feel that, I can let you go now and bring you back later. And then he kind of like makes eye contact over to Spirit as well, and does like a nod, because Spirit would understand that the same thing could happen with it. And I think just based off of how I imagine their personalities, Shade would be trembling and would want to disappear right now, and Spirit would stay and be willing to be a kind of a guide.
Sure. Stick around till the end.
He's gone. Yeah.
Fair.
So we let Shade go, and we just have Spirit with us. And then casting Arcane Eye, which is an invisible magical eye within range, hovers in the air for the duration. I have concentration on it for up to an hour unless we get attacked during that time. You mentally receive visual information from the eye, which has normal vision and dark vision out to 30 feet. The eye can look in every direction, and you can continuously move it 30 feet in any direction. It has no limit how far it can move away from me.
Just how quickly.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so it's in the direction that Noller wants to be heading, and that is the direction we start heading the eye.
It can move 30 feet.
Yeah, it can move 30 feet.
Okay. You guys are going to pass it in the first round.
It is more or less anchored to the caster in a way, so I guess you could say that even if though it can't move that much, it can
I
hover.
don't know. I just really like the idea that you like cast it and then just like. No, I get it.
So, Noller, if you want me to do this, you're going to have to stop the ship.
No.
At some point.
Actually, that's not a bad point. Because as you get closer, the likelihood of hitting that wall increases pretty quickly.
I'm willing to get suggestions of when I should stop, or when we should stop. Really, any objections? It just takes one, really.
Yeah, Sativa Panic.
I just want to say that at this point, I have actually, like seeing the route of where we're going, I have left and gone to my room to
Okay.
start singing and reading to my dragon
Good.
and trying to figure out if I should try to like forget about Haslan and just focus on the bastard, or if like going there is something that I'm really wanting and would want to let the party know in on.
It's an interesting. Do you want to talk that through?
I don't know. I mean, because like right now, she has very much been able to keep up a pretty good facade of like, at least to the party, of like we're going after Strahd right now. But then when she was like lying to Zero Ruth about going to Haslan first to try and figure out what the fuck's going on with her, she was like, wait, maybe I do want to do that, especially after he said that like she could just ask to have it removed. And so she's like, I either want to figure out more about it and like how to control and embrace it or get rid of it, but like either way I have to go there. But also like I have to kill the bastard. But also like what if I find something to be able to kill the bastard within Haslan? So
You got a few bastards on the list.
no, I mean really it's just Strahd, because I've only had momentary flashbacks of my torture by Hadslick, so it's like, so I guess that's part of where the curiosity lies of like, oh my gosh, am I really semi getting over my revenge to try and figure this out? But also the revenge is still there, and I want to rip his heart out of his chest. And
Is it character development? Look out!
Wait, what?
Yeah, you're gonna need
I said-
headphones. Or you're gonna have to do a good job like that with muting. Go ahead, Pix.
I was just saying, is that character development?
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Okay, you're weighing that. Glint, what are you doing?
Glint is probably spending all this time trying to entertain herself and others. Like for instance, I can see her trying to spend a lot of time with Svetlana and try to cheer her up because she's in kind of not a good state. Doing things like trying to like braid her hair, but then she realizes that she never learned how to braid hair at all, so she ends up making pigtails. just kind of like knocking her feet around on the floor and poking people's faces and doing cartwheels and singing to herself. Probably
So,
juggling things that
in
she
it-
finds.
So question,
Inadvertently,
Clint.
yeah.
Clint, I do have a question I wanted to ask. What does it actually feel like getting torn apart? Because I think it happened to you twice in more than one way.
Deadly question.
Yes.
Was she actually torn apart? Or was she just like slowly dissolved?
Well, your physical body was just sort of handed over.
Yeah. So Sanian's got Glint's original body.
Yeah. But as an incorporeal entity, you operated for some time effectively as a ghost. You did not go to the ethereal plane. Your spirit remained on the prime material plane.
I was a passenger of the material plane, yeah.
Yeah, you were just along for the ride. But with the Raven Queen's need for your unique sort of sentiment, you were granted essentially a body from the plane of dreams.
Yeah, basically even like a burner phone in body form.
Yeah, you went to the Metro PCS plane of existence and bought a plan with minutes.
Is it like a Nixborn kind of?
Yeah, precisely.
Was
Okay,
it
awesome.
randomized or did she actually get to choose?
No, I mean like essentially your it's like, you know, how you see yourself is how you see yourself in the Matrix kind of thing.
Okay.
And so like your thoughts are what manifest your physical form.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. So Glint just kind of like, she opens her mouth and puts her finger up and then she closes it. And then she looks away and then she looks back at you and she's just like, ripped apart?
Look, it may have been, my memory could be bad about that time, but all I know of the moment when you were a ghost is that we were fighting in the ship, actually, in this galleon, and you did no, fucking.
I mean, I almost got eaten by the ship.
I mean,
if
as
that's
a
what you're
ghost, you were sort of like dissolved into the ether.
saying. Oh.
You weren't
It
torn
kind of feels
apart because there was nothing to tear.
So you know when your arm falls asleep because you were laying on it for too long?
Yes, it's been an odd thing also now with one less arm, actually.
It kind of feels like that, but like everywhere, you know?
Hmm.
And then it feels like nothing.
No, I get it.
There's no gravity. There's no heat. There's no cold. There's no weight. It's just kind of like you're floating, only you can't really touch anything.
Well, the good thing is that you're still alive.
Yeah, well, you know, kinda.
Same difference. Doesn't matter. I think you're more alive than others.
I will take that as a compliment.
It is. Now, what was I meaning? Oh, it was this part. Okay.
Is anybody up on deck? Proper.
Um,
Yes.
Yes.
The rule.
I suppose I'm moving all over around trying to find everything that can be mended and just doing my best.
Okay. Here's what I'd like to do. As much as I'm loath to allow any of you a long rest, we did establish that it's going to be 19 hours of demon splatter on the front of the ship, and some downtime for all y'all. So please do go ahead and take a long rest.
yay. But Glint kind of tilts her head and goes like, why do you ask?
Honestly, making conversation is not something I get to do more along with the others.
Well, did you ever get ripped apart?
It's
Only dismembered.
I only have had my can cut off. My brain has been turned to mush, and then it recovered.
Ooh, mushy.
Almost died several times. Other than that, not much. Experience been broken
Almost died.
Twice. Yeah, almost died. But it is interesting because I do remember some of the stuff. It is interesting when you are reduced to just being almost like a dog.
Sweet. Did everyone do their long rest? Yes.
Yeah. And then she reaches
Not-
out and like scritches
not
behind
yet.
his ear because she has no sense of personal space or boundaries. And then she just like,
Perfect.
and then she's just like, did that still feel like a dog? Actually, you can tell me, what do dogs feel when you do that?
Oh God. I'm going to end that conversation there and check in with Farul real quick.
Aww.
I think Farul is going to end that conversation right there as
Okay.
he spots Glint and Noel are talking, and makes his way over. Sorry to disturb this conversation, but Glint, you are a divine healer of sorts, right?
Well, go on.
Yeah, well, you see, and he pulls out this staff, and he goes, I've had to modify this staff a little bit for my use, but it seems that a healer would be able to make better use of it, maybe. Would you be able to use this?
Are you
As he
giving
holds-
me a new toy?
It's a stick.
I mean,
That does not make a difference.
tactically, this would work probably better in your hands than in mine.
Why do you have it?
I don't want to die yet. I'm not ready
Oh.
for those next moments.
Wait a minute. You're a necromancer of sorts, aren't you?
Yes.
But you're not ready.
No, I am a wizard.
But
I am a generic wizard of great power.
But your thing has only been mostly of the school of necromancy, and I understand the not needing to die, but seems with your aesthetic, there's a conundrum there because you use death, but you don't want to die.
Yet. I'm not prepared to die yet.
I mean, fair enough. I feel much the same, but it's not usually what happens with the type, of yours. I'm sorry if that sounds insulting or in some way, but necromancers when always having a spare plan and all that.
I do have several, hence this staff, and I have plans for my future, as I have seen and have had many teachers I have yet to master that bit of magic that I would aim for. But yes, sorry, Nola, we can talk about that at another time.
Just a question. Just asking.
Yes, just a
No.
wizard.
I have a very important question.
Of course.
Is it shiny?
Well, is
I'm
it?
waiting.
And then the staff that is
Prestidigitation.
right now matte black, he bangs it on the ground and releases his control over it, and it's like paint just like chipping and falling away.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I think it does probably turn let's see, it'll be wood worked with probably some sort of pearlescent stone.
Yes.
So it's like wrapped together, and then he instantly lets it go and it drops onto the ground. And he's like, sorry. Yes, now it is.
Glenn's just like, ah! And then she dives for it.
It is the Staff of Healing. It is a rare item. And from player Jimbo to player Pix, I believe it is better suited to a cleric than to a wizard.
Well, thank you very, very much. You probably won't hear Glint say thank you because she's like really fixated on it now, and she also doesn't really like social very well.
Mm-hmm.
But she loves it. She's finding all kinds of ways to play with it.
Roll me a performance or sleight of hand check, Glint.
Okay. 13 plus 10.
I'm sorry, did you say 13 plus 10?
Yes.
Okay, everybody get the
My
fuck out of
performance
the
is
way.
plus
Glint's
10.
got a stick! Yeah, this looks like some fucking double-sided lightsaber shit. Especially since it's shiny now. So there's not a whole lot of like illumination, but for this thing, it is definitely kicking off quite a lot of energy. It also is magical, and so there's just sort of a faint aura of magical energy coming off of it, giving
you
it sort
very
of a
much, Jimbo.
tracer effect as you swirl it around. Pretty captivating.
Yeah. She's mesmerized by it.
Sweet. As the two of you are watching Glint, you Ferul and Noller, you sort of return your attention towards the bow of the ship, which again is moving at an inane rate of speed. And as you look out, you see, boy, it looks a lot like the whip of the Baylor. It does. There's just sort of like a slinging, cracking, fire bolting, almost like fireworks ahead of you. You're rushing towards it very quickly. It's still in the distance, but it's sort of like, and you just see flames fire off in one direction, and then you see this sort of red hot whip curl, and then fire off another firebolt. And
This is the moment we should slow down, isn't it, Ferrul?
Oh, yes. Probably.
Well, in that case, I'll tell the ship to start slowing down us gradually.
Okay. As you begin to slow down the ship, you can see off the bow. It doesn't look comparatively like you've moved any closer to this sort of silvery blue white light in the distance. But as you look out, you can see there is a figure wearing maroon robes. They have a elongated face. If anybody saw the like Endgame movies, the guy, he looks kind of like the psionic guy. I didn't realize that until just now. He's just got sort of like drawn features. They're a little bit flat and almost alien looking. He
What
is
were they drawn with?
hooks.
Oh, okay. I was making a joke.
Oh yeah, I know. So is what I said.
You got me.
Yeah. It's called escalation, sweetie. Look it up. And he is floating on what looks like a silvery tensor's floating disc. And he is I mean, he looks like he's just sort of just like killing demons for the fun of it, alongside this two-dimensional blade that rises up out of the Sea of Malice, which you are now. I mean, you would think at this point you are tens of thousands of feet over that ocean. It still looks like you've not moved at all. You've been blasting forever. But there's just the scale of this space is so distended that it's as if you've made no progress at all. But as you slow down, you can see this figure, and he is dancing very much like, and I think that you've probably seen this Noller before, a dagger chain. You've seen that sort of like swinging and dancing and whipping, and but he's firing off spells with it.
Rope dart is the word you're looking
yes.
for.
Thank you. He seems to be very proficient at what he's doing. But as you begin to approach, he stops, and you see this chain sort of just like whip around his body, and he takes the far side, or the side he's holding, and sort of catches the dagger part, which wraps around and falls in a knot at his side. And then he tucks his hands into his long-sleeved maroon robe, and
Is this
just sort
something
of
you don't want?
sets up shop, watching as the ship slowly approaches him.
Can we kill him so I can have his whip?
No,
Please?
no,
Why?
because no.
It's not a good reason.
Because we don't have
Are
a good
you
reason
sure
to kill
it's
him
not a
either.
good reason? I'm just saying. As you come up, Narasine, to see why the ship is slowed down, which is very apparent. I want to be very clear. Y'all can, without question, see what's going on here.
Who's that
So-
asshole?
We don't know. Ferrul?
Let's kill him.
Ideas? No.
I need to a quota.
You need to do what with a quota? Oh, you need a quota. That's right.
Sorry, but I won't assist you with any quotas that involve killing if we don't have a good reason.
You don't have to help.
I can still stop you.
Noller, I would fair to say, based off of your fighting style, this would lean a little bit more into your direction. Is ninja the right term? No, ninja is not the right term. And he starts speaking to spirit, and then he comes back. Monk. He seems that seems more. Monk.
No, not anyone else. I'll know. Everyone that was in my monastery died. Well, except for one. But
Could it be him?
no, the one that he was I rescued him myself, and well, for starters, he was blind, and he did not look anything like this.
While the two of you are talking, you can see that this character begins to float stoically towards the edge of the boat. Yeah, Pix.
Can I roll a history check to see if Glint was definitely like eavesdropping?
I don't think you would have. I don't think you could have missed it. And I think we almost just see like that sort of like comic situation where there's like a conversation, then we just see like a head, just like. Yeah, I don't think that there's. I don't think. Yeah, I don't think you.
Oh no! That wasn't my question.
Yes.
That was just some flavor. My question is, did Glint ever notice any spirit monks?
Roll me a history check. Yeah.
That's what I was. Yeah. That's a 12 plus 9.
More often than not, it's not that they were spirits, but a lot of monks at their higher levels of training astral project. And so in moments where there's a zen-like state, their spirits can move beyond the confines of their body. And sometimes they find their ways to places that they, I wouldn't say shouldn't belong, but shouldn't belong. You don't just stumble into the what is it, the Tower of Memories.
Yeah, and I also think it's fair to say that Glint probably never really met any monks in her time before, besides the one that she's speaking to right now.
I mean, if I was a monk and I astral projected and then I saw Glint in whatever plane of existence, I would probably be like, you know what?
Peace. Yeah, that's fair. But what I was going to say was, I think that even if she did see any monks of any kind in the spirit realm, she probably wouldn't have known what they were.
Perhaps not. This guy, now while you're sort of just like on the chin, Ferrul and Noller, you see Glint like turn, and then this guy, he's pretty tall. He's about 7'6". Lean. Looks like, I mean, it does look like you just sort of put a guy in a stretcher, like in a stretching machine, taffy stretcher. He's got elongated fingers and obviously almost too long arms. He's very tall. He is still somewhat muscular, but just like sinewy kind of build. His skin is sort of tannish, greenish gray, light though. Almost like the skin of an underripe olive. And he squints with yellowy eyes towards the three of you. He's floating just off the ship, and he begins to speak. Does anybody speak Abyssal?
I think most of us do, actually.
Okay.
Let me check.
I think I'm the
No,
only
I do not actually.
I do not.
Oh, I do.
Narasine and Ferrul, as you look on, he says, "You're not demons. So What are you doing?
What are we doing here? They're asking,
You-
but also I'm asking.
Well, we're obviously traveling. We came through a rift.
Translating all this.
We found ourselves here. Now we're looking for a way out. And what we know of this place, that works in going a promising direction, hoping for the best.
Also, can I have your cool whip? Or do you know where I can get one like it?
Sponsored by Cool Whip.
Sponsored by Cool. Hashtag sponsored, not sponsored.
I was. Goddamn. I choked on my grumble I was about to say.
Good.
Because he goes, which essentially translates to, why are you saying it like that?
What, your whip?
Say it again.
Whip? Whip?
Really? We're doing this whole bit?
Well, we're done now, but yes,
Okay.
the answer to the question was yes.
That's like the one English word in the whole thing. Whip.
Whip. Yeah, that's it. I mean, whip is just across the board. It's the same.
Also, please, disclaimer, please don't
primordial.
sue us, Cool Whip. We're saying Cool Whip with a K.
No, we're saying Cool Whip. Come fuck with me. Come on. I'll fuck with you. Come on.
I was trying to
Come on, Cool Whip. Step, Cool Whip. Let's see what you got. Cool Whip.
QULWHIP.
Ferrul, what is happening?
They are discussing his weapon.
I want it.
I slap a nursing on the back of the head.
Can I roll to like Dragon Ball Z Ultra Instinct dodge it without looking?
It's a tap. Not doing damage.
I still want to.
Yeah, no, I still want to get out. Yeah, just roll me a dexterity saving throw.
Come on, girl. Yeah, 26.
Yeah, I think we just see like Narasine just like lead, just like at the, but Narasine, as you sort of like dodge that and pop back up, the dagger of this whip is sitting like a cobra head in front of you, sort of like pointing back and forth, almost like they're examining your eyes.
Oh, well, I try to give it a little kissy.
I mean, just roll me just a straight dex check. Show me a straight dex check.
18.
What exactly is Narasine wearing? I want you to go step from just real quick, just bam, 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 right down the. How's her hair? What does her hair look like?
Hair, I think, is kind of a messy ponytail because this was kind of like, yeah, we were kind of ready, but like, I also heard something happen, so I kind of hurried a little bit. I don't really care.
Is it tousled curls or is it sort of more straight? I'm serious.
I think at this point, it's been a while since we've all showered, so I think we're looking at a little bit of greasy curly hair.
Okay, very good. Okay, keep going.
From there, it's just obviously no makeup, just face.
Sure. One empty eye socket, one necrotizing eye socket.
Yes.
Pinpoint blue eye, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, keep going.
Then I think it comes down to a almost a what do you call them? A corset-esque.
Leather corset. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, like a corset, but it's like scaled armor.
Okay.
Is also along it. A nice cinched waist there, and then what is now a almost a scaled skirt.
Okay.
I think.
How long? Knee length?
I
Flirty?
would say
Mid-calf?
just above knee. Above knee.
All right, flirty.
Gotta keep movement in there.
Sure. That's what they
She's been
all
trying to
say.
change it up because, so much
Keep it
happened with her
fresh.
family. It's
Keep
a
it
new
fresh.
her.
Yeah, exactly.
She's been
Sometimes you have to
mind wiped.
reinvent yourself a little bit. This is why we
Yeah.
always do, guys, y'all. This is why we always do that. In case somebody changes their shit.
Especially since Uncle Vecna has not liked what I've been putting out so far for him, so I gotta try
I
something.
want to be very clear. Uncle Vecna is very upset with you. I am also disappointed. I just want to take a moment and express to you that I was expecting much more of
I haven't
Narasine
had-
in the role play. The role play, spectacular. Your commitment to Vecna, you're coming up way short, homie. Way short.
I haven't had a lot of chances to be evil. It's just been us, and I can only antagonize Grove so long.
You're seeking contact with people. Always. Always.
Do you think that Vecna cares who you're evil to?
Fine, I'll fuck with the cleric, I guess.
Just the cleric.
What's the boot situation? Let's go back. We're not gonna. Well,
boot.
We've lingered long enough.
I think it's almost a little bit. It would have been the same designer as the one who did Sveti shoes.
Right. What's his name?
But I think these are a little bit. Yeah, let's call it Hinkelmeyer.
Hinkelmeyer. Fuck yes.
Hinkelmeyer.
Oh God. All right.
Yeah.
Yes. Great. All right. Hang on.
Hinkelmeyer shoes.
This is my first note of the session.
Wonderful man. Gets flayed.
Hinkelmeyer.
It's wonderful.
Okay. So it's the leather's made from him. They just
yeah.
And then make all the shoes. That's why it's so supple.
Exactly.
It's just new fresh skin for each pair.
I think they do have a heel, but it's like I want to say like a 2-inch heel at max. I think it's like a wide base, like very much like kind of like little bit of fashion, but mainly function kind of boots.
Okay. All right.
Made from Hinkelmeyer.
How attached would you say you are to Vecna's eye?
Physically.
Cool. What would it feel like if this dagger were to separate into 3 pieces, reach into your eye socket, and pull Vecna's eye from your body?
I would immediately cast Disintegrate on him.
Hey, what's going on?
Well, no, I want to be very clear. The amount of time that this takes does not allow for traditional mechanical reaction.
Then it would just be like a
okay.
Like Spider-Man trying to grab Doc Ock's fucking.
This thing got a 35 on its sleight of hand check. So I think it's gonna scoop your little blue eye out of your skull, and retrieve it, and your vision goes dark. And can I get a Constitution saving throw?
Narasine getting karma checked real? Not clickbait?
4K?
17. Okay.
Looking frantically through my spells.
You feel it does feel like you got shot in the face. The only thing that I can imagine would be sort of the equivalent, because there's just sort of like a nervous disconnect. And you are lilting forward as you feel the and then
okay, I do catch nursing.
We're not okay. So and as you start to stumble forward, you catch nursing. As you do, Noller, they almost immediately right themselves, but are staggered for a moment, and you can see very clearly Narasine with 2 hollow eye sockets, and then you begin to see the silhouette of your shadow on Narasine. Narasine, you do not see anything.
Oh crap!
And you also see that shadow is haloed with a soft blue light. And Ferrul, as you look over, you see this alien-looking creature with these maroon robes, and their hands still tucked in, as this dagger comes up in front of his face and starts to just sort of like open up enough that the brilliance of this light sort of shows up striated across its face, and it considers what it's holding for just a moment. Sorry, real quick, I'm just going to go through. Svetlana, the ship has stopped, which is a new change of pace, because you felt like you were going about... I mean, it feels like being on a small intercontinental jet. 700-800 miles an hour. And then all of a sudden, you just came to a landing. You are free to stand up and move around the cabin.
Well, I walked out when, like right before this monk guy appeared. Like as Nollard was talking to the monk guy.
Yeah.
That's when I walked out. And at first I was going to be like, who the fuck are you? But all this other stuff was happening. So, and now you're saying he tore Nerezine's eye out of her face?
It was very... I want to be very clear. Oh, gosh.
We're about to get very feral, people.
It was not so gruesome. It was surgical, exacting.
Right. Yeah.
And as you watch it happen, and now that you see him from about 100 feet away, holding this thing with this dagger still wrapped around his waist, he looks over and begins to consider you. And as he does, this dart just... and you don't see that blue light anymore. And roll me a... I don't know, what do you want to do? Let's start with that, and then we'll see where we go from there. You see on Nerezine's stagger, you see them stand back up.
He just looks at me, or is he moving towards me?
Or he's just standing. He's actually floating on a silvery disc. Against
And we're stopped like right at the we're still at the like silvery highway, or are we like where we were going?
Well, that's the thing. It doesn't. It's weird. You've been going fast for a long time, but your perspective has not changed significantly. If you could look out from the side of the boat, and from the deck you can see this, you're really following along this wall at a pretty steep angle, blasting. There is a reflection of the ship across this two-dimensional plane. And it dips and sort of like curves and even sometimes becomes wavy. But otherwise, you don't see a lot of change in what's going on here. And so it still looks like you haven't moved at all. If you didn't know you were rushing past things, you would think you were stationary. So it still looks like that thing's way the fuck over there, and the sea's right down there. But you've been hitting demons still. There's still shit up here that's like, hey, what's the fuck? And your ship is just like a literal missile. Yeah, it's still just sort of like right there beside you, the edge of it.
Yeah. So I'm going to look at Nerezine and say, well, can't say I didn't see something like that coming at some point with how you've been behaving lately. Anyway,
can I get a Constitution saving throw from Nerezine, please?
She's basically just got her head down, and she's just like shaking, but you can't really see her face. That's a 3 on that con saving throw.
Yeah, you feel like with like the friction that you felt with Svetlana lately feels like you just had your eye pulled out and something finally hit deep inside your heart. When
She made a pun about seeing that this could happen.
Well, that part too.
Like
You're gonna take double damage. Go, Glenn.
Glenn kind of took advantage of the opportunity that Svetlana set up. So it was more Glenn's fault than Sveti's.
I was not intending pun.
Yes.
Okay, so then I look at this monk guy, this alien-looking guy, and I say to him, do you? I'm trying to be intimidating, okay? Because he is obviously hostile towards us, right? Like it seemed like Nola was just trying to have a conversation with us.
Insight check.
Okay.
My fucking eyes. Woo.
Why'd you say it like a bootleg Mickey Mouse?
Like Winnie the Pooh.
Kind of.
11.
11.
It's your best friend.
Hanging in the fucking side of the. I mean, there's nobody else out here. Just a fucking guy. He did pocket. The dagger just sort of like folded itself away, but he did collect. Narasine, did you say anything to him? You only spoken to Narasine. He, if not being addressed by you, he doesn't seem to respond to the exchange the two of you had.
Do you work for Vecna then?
He looks to you inside your head. You hear, I do not work for anyone. I man the border. His mouth does not move. He simply looks at you.
Then what do you want with her eye?
It is not permitted.
So will you give it back to her when we get to the other side of the gate, or what? How does that work? You're going to mail it to her? It's not really like we have home address right now.
That was many questions, but I believe the general answer you're looking for is no.
Well, that's okay. So, and she looks over at Narasine.
Svetlana, what's happening?
And Narasine.
Yeah.
Let's just say it's your turn.
I cast Find Steed.
Okay.
When I cast Find, because he's up in the air, right?
It's just sort of floating off the deck about, maybe 5 feet, 1 square away, just floating right here. And you guys are on the ship right here, and there's just sort of there's the banister, the gunnels.
So what could I summon that has like the most amount of arms for a steed?
Why are you asking me that question?
Okay,
Why are you asking
so I
me?
guess,
No.
So what happens is
there you go. There you go.
So I think what happens is kind of like those like monsters with a bunch of arms in Elden Ring.
Mm-hmm.
Except it's just like a human centipede-esque kind of like.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Human centipede. Yeah, there you go. Human centipede. Stated even further. And it's just kind of like that, kind of like just starts crawling out, and she's just standing on top of it, and as
she's crawling out of the top of the ship, essentially. Like that's the plane with which. Okay, great.
Mm-hmm. As she pulls the flaming sword out, the flaming great sword,
right,
and then she just kind of like basically cuts off one of the hands.
just a quick question. Just a quick
Mhm.
question, real quick. Summon Steve's spell, right?
Yes.
Cool.
We aren't in the no spell zone though. I thought. Or are
No,
we?
no, you're not in the no. You're not in the no spell zone.
No,
I mean,
okay.
not so much. As that. This guy looks up as this thing rises up, and then blinks and casts counterspell.
I counterspell is counterspell.
We're gonna do a counterspell off.
Okay. I'm gonna get to this fucker one way or another. Get a hold of him.
Okay.
It's like that scene from Ocarina of Time when Ganon throws like the energy at Link, and then he hits it back with his sword, and then he hits it back with his cloak, and then he hits it back with his sword.
So is this just a D20 roll off? I guess.
What do you got? Yeah, roll me a d20.
Okay. I'm gonna de-inspiration that one.
What'd you get? What'd you get? Wait.
No, I'm using the inspiration.
What did you get on? What did you get on the roll? I want them both. You know how this works. It's not one or the other. It's both in this house.
The first one was a 3.
Great.
The second one, come on, bitch, is a 16.
Okay. As you start to rise up with this, like on this thing, it just boom, nothing, just gone. The plane that it crawled out of, you can feel the brief moment when this thing realized it was being cut off from the source. Just because you're so in tune with that magic, and barely have time to get the rest of your greatsword out. Which we see that plane cut off about this much, like curvature of blade. There's a flat spot where that plane just, and you hear it ting.
Just an angry little girl running right at him. Then
roll
where I remember him being.
Yeah, roll me. What's your passive perception?
Normally it's 18.
Yeah, what is it now?
I don't know. I don't know what I would subtract.
I think you're technically blinded, right? So
yeah, so it would just be nothing.
Then. You have the blinded condition.
Yeah, but
Oh yeah, let me put that on.
Yes.
I did not have it. Oh no, there it is.
So during this little spell, counter spell, summon sword, summon speed, disappear speed situation, Farul would be also, having watched this whole thing, be preparing his own bit of retaliation, but of a more subtle way. I want to do it stealthily.
Yeah. Okay, great.
So first thing that we do is cast animate objects. And we are animating objects on the this person. Whatever that I see that is, I guess it's 8, right? 8 tiny. Yeah.
What are you choosing to animate?
What does he have on his person besides his whip and his clothes?
That is it. You don't even see his feet. The base of the cloak comes down. You can see it undulate, but you never see it come off of the edge of Tensor's floating disc.
Does his clothes have buttons or anything like that?
It is a rope which is overlaid, and the thing that's wrapped around is this like dagger chain whip. This cool whip.
Okay, then we'll just toss out silver pieces and have them sneak over.
Beautiful.
Okay.
All right.
So we do that. Do you want a stealth roll?
Yes, let's do stealth. I like that. I'm gonna give you advantage on. No, I'm not. I'm not gonna give you advantage.
Okay, 21.
Okay. What do you want these to do? Let me check in with Svet.
I'm just wondering what else is not allowed.
Okay. Yes. So you say that he's looking at you. You did a good job with your stealth. What do you do as these coins sort of like, I think we just see them maybe skirt along the deck below this thing's point of view, perspective
And
wise.
come up, yeah. And then I want them to come up just behind, and they're basically in hold position for
Okay.
right now.
Okay.
Because it's the next action that I get to take, which is when they'll be able to come into effect.
He turns and does not speak, but inside of Svetlana's head, you hear, beyond the border, many things are restricted. There is an imbalance beyond which draws and pushes in ways that do not need to be affected by outside stimuli.
So, does that mean that whatever is well, you wouldn't know this. I have some stuff going on inside of me.
Don't
that
we
does
all?
seem to, that does seem to be of magical origin. Probably pretty dark. So will that not come out when we cross?
There is a psychic shrug. And then sort of almost like a resigned sigh inside your mind. And he he continues to stare at you, these yellowy eyes just sort of softly glowing. Not quite cat laser eyes, but just enough that there's a brilliance to them. And he says, if you've made it this far, then it is not my place to deny individuals access.
Access to what? Wait, access to the powers or access to the gate? I figured that was implied that you were going to let us through the gate.
He says, I am simply a border keeper.
Right. Well, we don't have any produce or animals on board, so
Roll
we
me
could just
roll me a performance or charisma check, or you can roll me a sarcasm check.
We have sarcasm checks now?
Mhm.
Oh.
No.
Yeah.
What about this? What about deception?
Sure. Try to deceive him with sarcasm. I'm now we've just panned down into the lower levels, and there's just like barrels of like fruits. There's like insects and fungi on it. Like you should not let those across. They're gonna contaminate the whole fucking food like network. It's gonna be horrible.
I have no idea how that happened.
It's just, that was sarcasm.
So the deception was a 26.
Okay.
The performance was a 10.
Okay, so he does not think of it jokingly. It does seem that the joke fell flat for him. Also, tough audience, tough audience. I hey Nercy.
Huh? I have a plan for this. Yeah, I'm ready.
You go on and do the thing. Go on and do your thing.
I cast locate object, and I'm thinking of the last thing I saw in this fucking world, which is that whip.
Okay. Cool. It's right in front of you. It's right there.
Yeah, no,
It's about 15 feet away. It's right there. You can see it clearly wrapped around just in space.
Cool. I'm making a
and you can also see the faint, just very thin. It's growing sort of a yellowy color. Thin streams of bright blue light. You know what's in it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna basically just go for, and I'm swinging basically just a big arc, kind of, because I know he wouldn't be just holding their arm like people don't just like, haha, how are you? I hold my arms above my head because I do ballet. Most people have them either like, So I'm kind of swinging, and it's in the same general area, and like
we're just trying to go between the arms and the belt through the body.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good.
Do I roll that at disadvantage?
No, just roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh. Natural 20, 33.
Wow. As you step forward, I think we see you remember at the last second that you can't just run straight. You have to leap up onto the banister first. And I think just swinging as you come up off of that to get the height you need to get him through the middle. As you are doing this, just sort of leaping, Nola, you turn, look, Svetlana, you see this. Farul, he's out and about. Did you have something planned there, Farul?
Yes, I did. Sorry, Narasine, it would mess with your thing. The next thing is casting Odaluk's sphere on this person.
Okay.
Odaluk's resilient sphere.
Awesome.
So we contain the animate objects as a secondary, giving up our bonus action as a secondary concentration spell. And then wrap, he must make a dexterity 21 save.
Okay, what does it look like when this happens?
When this happens?
Yeah, these coins are floating like under his disc, waiting to spring.
At his back.
Oh, at his
They're
back.
at his
Okay,
back.
great.
Yeah. And then starting probably at his head, like above his head, it would wrap down and around in a like grayish, almost black sphere wrap around.
Awesome. And then what happens? What are the effects of this?
The effects are that the sphere of shimmering force encloses a creature or object of large size or smaller within range. Unwilling creature must make a dexterity saving throw. If they fail, they are enclosed for the duration. Nothing, not physical objects, energy, or other spell effects can pass through the barrier, in or out. While the creature is in the sphere, it can breathe there. The sphere is immune to all damage, and the creature or object inside can't be damaged by attacks or effects originating from outside. nor can a creature inside the sphere damage anything outside. The sphere is weightless and is just large enough to contain the creature or object inside. An enclosed creature can use its action to push against the sphere's walls and thus roll the sphere at up to half the creature's speed. Similarly, the globe can be picked up and moved around by other creatures.
Awesome. Hey, Narasing.
You know what a snow globe is like?
Dexterity saving throw, please.
We have disadvantage because I'm blinded, right?
Yeah.
What if I wanna get in there? My goal is to just get as close to this motherfucker as possible. So I mean, and I don't know this is happening.
How about a dexterity saving throw?
Oh, it would be 18. Dropped in at 20.
Dropped a nat 20. Oh, you got
Dropped
a
in at 20 in favor of an 18. 8 plus 10.
Wait, what do you mean you dropped the nat?
He got a 20 and then he got an 8.
Oh.
And he has a plus 10,
Oh.
so it's an 18.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you. I want both. I want both the numbers because
I thought I said that.
I just want to make sure I understood it properly. Make sure I understood it properly. Okay. As you swing in, your sword comes to an abrupt stop. Nope. You swing it, and as you do, you just hear "Fring!" And there is the chain. This dagger chain has wrapped twice around that blade and caught hit next to him. You're like this. You're inside this sphere, and from inside you see that grayish black bubble, like striations around this guy, and he looks down, and inside your head you hear in Abyssal it pretty much equates to, "You're not going to be trouble, are you?"
Feral, what is going on? I know he took the eye, but what's
I
happening?
spit in this direction.
In Abyssal, you have taken an item of my companions, who unfortunately is now in the sphere with you. If we have to kill you to get it back, we will, or we can resolve this more appropriately as we try to leave this area. You can just give the eye back.
This is a bad moment to know Abyssal.
I like this. Glenn, you don't speak Abyssal, right?
No, she does not.
Okay. So you just heard Ferrul make a lot of real guttural noises right beside you.
And her head just like tilts as she looks at him.
I also don't. I look at Svetlana and I'm confused. I understand that this is happening and I'm at the ready, but at the same time, I don't know, because also personally, I know the past and I remember from Zero and all the talks back. I know that the eye is evil, and I wouldn't mind it being gone. Sorry, nursing, but at the same time, I don't know, because I remember also when I was just reduced to basically dragon. So I don't know what to think right now.
Insight check would probably be in order if you want some direction on that.
What?
If you ever find yourself at a cross or at an impasse, we can always roll insight checks and figure out what might work. Let me check in with the TV. Yes.
As Noller looks at me, and I can kind of see his half comprehension, but not entirely. I just say he wants to get the eye back. It's understandable. Nirasin can't be left without eyes.
I
But-
will turn into a feral animal on this ship. I will shit everywhere.
But why?
Okay, Amber, chill.
Wow. Talk about
Aquaman.
Talk about dick. Bad. Both of you. Hate yourselves.
But
Not sorry.
Uh,
but why? Why does he want?
Evil.
I still don't know why the guy was taken. Even why?
why the eye was taken?
Yeah, I
Is
mean
that
the
what
only
she said? Oh,
person
yeah.
that he only told it to is Svetlana, and psychically too.
Glenn, what are you doing? Things are happening around you.
Okay, so I don't know if Glint was paying attention to everything.
It was pretty. It was very quick exchange here.
Yeah, what's happening right now, at least? Like I heard the guttural exchanges.
You hear the guttural exchange. You look across. There's about 5 feet of boat. The little banister there, and this guy is floating in a bubble. This sort of gray, inky sphere around his little floating disc. In his robes, very stoic. He's not moved since he rolled up on ya. And the Neresin sword is grabbed by this like chain dart belt that he's got. And Neresin does look. I mean, we're getting to the edge of feral. I'm not. Yeah, like that's totally fair.
Feral. Anyways, I want to pop the bubble. That's the only thing I can think of right now.
Okay. Can I
No.
get a contest? No.
No,
I get it. I would no.
no.
No. You sure?
I'm getting
Because
strong.
I just see a very thin, like purple, like lavender pin just floating in the air, just like inching closer and closer.
I'm getting very strong indications that I should not do that.
Yeah, I would think the pin gets closer and closer and closer. Feral, you can see it. It's bright. It's lavender. It's pink. It looks like a big, thick
Did you touch my bubble?
sewing needle, and it's just inching closer.
You can take.
Can I
No.
get a contested Arcana check just for the fun?
No,
Please,
I'm not
no.
gonna do it.
Just gonna check.
So Jimbo's character and Neresin are fighting. Feral and Neresin are fighting.
No. Ferrul has
I'm-
sort of This is definitely not like an
different towards
initiative like order situation. Because Ferrul just sort of encapsulated the situation while Neresin was already
Gotcha.
like
Okay.
in
Understand why I'm not supposed
motion,
to pop
and
the
so
bubble
it's
now.
just like boop, and you're like oh.
Yeah. Okay.
And then we just see the needle just like take a 180 into the.
What's
ether.
Neresin doing?
That's
I
a
am
great
fight
question.
nighting this dude in there. Just
Okay. Well, it's holding on to your greatsword. What do you do?
I'll just hit him then.
With,
I've
like,
got a
what?
really good
With
unarmed.
what?
With my
Okay.
hand, I've got a good
Okay.
unarmed. I've got
Very
a really good.
Right.
I gotta be honest. I don't think Glint has enough information really to act here.
That's fair.
Like,
I
she
mean,
would-
you're just-
She would absolutely act without thinking, but there's nothing to act upon.
I love the bubble
She's not
pop.
sure. She did want to pop the bubble for a second.
Basically, I just want to hit him and smite on the hits.
Roll me.
I think she probably assumed
roll
that
me an unarmed
since
strike.
Feral.
Are you gonna hang on to the sword? What are you gonna do? Are you you're trying to like backflip kick
Well, I mean,
him, or what are you gonna do?
I think I've got like one hand on the sword,
Okay.
but then I'm also just like fucking.
Okay.
Like-
All right. We're just gonna go to body blows. That's what we're
Yeah,
starting with.
yeah.
Okay. How tall are you again? 4 foot.
Like 4.
This guy's 7'6".
I am. I changed my height to 2. I forgot to change it back.
Half of
So
his
it'll be
height
4 foot
would
even.
crush you.
So I
4
believe
foot
I
even.
got.
Okay.
Yeah, 4 feet even.
So the top of your head comes up to like almost the top of his head.
We're going for dick hits then.
Okay, we're gonna go for speed bagging.
Yep.
Okay.
First one's gonna be a 21 to hit.
Miss.
Second one will not hit.
Okay.
With a 12.
Yeah, it's just like hitting. It would be like hitting a vault door on a bank. If you just walked up and punched it, I think you punch it real hard the first time, and then you go to punch it again, and you're like, no, you know what? I don't. That thing. Okay. Yep. Nope. That is hard. That's
so we
really
have,
difficult. It's funny
then the
because the fabric is flowing like gently, but when you hit it, it's almost like hitting a steel plate, but hard.
Try to punch him in the dick. Would I get a 21 to 22 damage out of the unarmed and the smite, which was a 3rd level smite?
When did he hit?
I don't think you did hit. When did
Oh, with the 21 didn't hit? Sorry.
Oh, no.
Oh, sorry. Never mind then.
No, the 21 was when you hit it and you hurt your hand because you just hit a block of iron 2
Got
feet
you.
thick.
So then I guess in that case, for a bonus action, what I'm going to go ahead and do is no, those would be a disadvantage. I will try to, Booming Blade. But I guess it'll be me trying to, like, gathering up that Booming Blade energy. And I know that he's got it, like, wrapped, but I can still I'm still trying to, like, angle the blade in towards.
Here we go again.
I used up both my 3rd level slots with that other counter spell, and that's so I wiggle my blade and I try to kick him in the dick unsuccessfully.
Sweet.
I think that's everything I can do.
Hey, this is gonna hurt a lot.
I spit now. And then I ask for $20.
Can I get perception checks from Ferrule and Noller and Glint, please?
You certainly can. The 13 plus 5.
18.
18?
23.
15.
Ferrule, you don't quite see as clearly at first.
I'm concentrating too hard.
But sort of at an angle. I think you're straight behind Narasine, who is like also down, trying to like mid swing. You do have a bend to your legs, and so there you don't really see because you're straight behind. The two of you are sort of off at an angle, and you see very quickly two thin, silvery flashes go right into Narasine's skull, right through their eye sockets, and Narasine, I haven't seen the movie yet, but this is probably what Everything Everywhere All at Once is sort of like. Because this guy taps into your ocular nerves and begins rooting around in your brain through everything you've ever experienced and everything you thought you ever experienced. And there's this strange hallucinogenic. I've never done psychedelic drugs, but also
sure.
I think that I haven't. I've never done psychedelic drugs. If somebody wants to give me psychedelic drugs, I'm probably your guy. But so there is just this real insane sort of just flash of almost literally every memory you have.
Everything, everywhere, all at once.
It's not. Yeah, like I haven't seen the movie, but it's in the title.
It hurts, but I had such a good childhood that this is just a really nice time.
Yeah, there's some real interesting sort of like cross files that this guy goes through, because you see sort of like one in front of one eye and one in front of the other, two different lives growing up. And it also sort of like alternates as to which eye sees it at what time. So there's just this weird, just like conglomeration, also like overlap. Like you're sitting at the breakfast table and it's just horrible conditions, and then you're sitting at the breakfast table and you look over and Hollis is, having a pipe and reading the paper. And Clover's sitting there and he's flicking Cheerios at like it's a just beautiful contrast. And what's your maximum hit point?
172.
Okay.
It's a beefy girl.
That's no, you're tougher than tough stuff.
It's a tough feat, Noller.
That's a smart move.
And I have good con. And with Paladin, you get beefy.
Yeah, no, I like this. I'm not gonna roll as many. I don't have as many dice. I'm not gonna sit here rolling dice until we get to an appropriate number. Let's just say half of your hit points go away.
2K for man.
Because every nerve in your body has been stimulated. You feel like you're going through quite literally the motions because your muscles are just all like seizing, not knowing, going through all of these experiences.
86.
Where to go. And you are when all of you see this thing like sort of disconnect from Narasine, you are flush. You are sweating profusely. Take a level of exhaustion. And
just got rid of the other one with that long rest. Son of a bitch.
Can I get a Constitution saving throw with disadvantage?
This is punishing.
As a side question, what's this? Never mind. That's.
Go ahead. Go. We're waiting. He's doing the thing.
No, do your thing. This will just postpone my inevitable death.
Not dying. Does everyone think they're dying? I take half your hit points. You think you're dying? I was being very generous. I wanted to make sure. I'm just like.
So I rolled the attack of it's not supposed to be 8. It's supposed to be 10 tiny objects.
Okay.
That attack.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make sure what the AC is that would have hit. I did have one nat 20.
Okay.
The lowest that I rolled is a 10.
Okay.
And then I have next up after that is a 13, then a 14, then a 22, then a 24, 25.
None of those are gonna hit.
None of those are gonna hit.
It's 25 total. Yeah, right. 25 2 hit total. There's nothing else to add to that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it does not hit.
Only one's gonna hit then.
The nat 20 will hit. So I think we see. Is it just like tendrils coming off from the sphere?
No.
Oh, these are coming up.
Animate objects.
It's sitting behind him. Okay. What do they do? Stab into him? Slash? Do they whip at him?
They bounce around. Basically, I'm shaking up the snow globe.
Okay.
On the inside.
I like that. I think what we see is as almost like the snow globe is being shaken. Just this whipping of silvery blades, silvery razors, and Narasine from inside, you just see like sparks, and then you hear.
I don't see anything. Oh wait, no, wait, yeah, because never mind.
There's just sort of like a magical sort of like kick, but then you hear very distinctly the thing, 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 and then you're and from behind, we just see this guy looking down at Narasine, and we see this like 6-inch thin bead of like greeny gray start to form, and then we see a thin rivulet of that green gray begin to drip. And Ferrul, as you look on, you see the first movement from this individual as he unfolds his arms, and he's got big, long, greeny gray, underripe olive skin fingers, and reaches back and with a single finger wipes at that. What was the damage on that attack?
Since it's only just that one, it'll end up being 14.
Okay. And I think we see on the back in that cut begin to bubble with like a tarry gray black. And he looks at the drop on his finger, and actually turns away from Narasine to consider it. And then he looks up at you, and you can hear a questioning mind just tap inside of your brain. And there's the sense of a smile. And as he looks at you with these yellowy, beady eyes, and there's no words, but there is a distinct sensation of pride in you. You can feel from his just sort of even monotone sense, he's impressed. And the again, without words, you get the story that it has been a time beyond measure since anyone was able to draw blood from him. And similarly feel, he says, whatever has brought you, whatever has brought you so far, let me not be the one to stand in the way. And hey, Narasine,
Yeah.
can I get a Constitution saving throw?
Disadvantage. Yeah. 12? That passes.
Is the sphere still up? Okay. Y'all see Narasine sort of like hunkered down in front of this big dude. And then there is a flash. And then you see Narasine look like they just got punted up, boom, into the sphere, and then boom, bang, slide back down in front of this guy. And Narasine, you literally just up, bam, boom, and then just like out. And as you look up, you can see all the way up 7'6" of this guy. And it's softly illuminated with blue. And then you see this little dagger head hovering in front of you again. And you see its little tips coming together, and it goes like this. and then retracts, and that's where I'm going to leave you tonight.
The end.
Fuck this guy. He took my eye, man.
He put it back.
Took my fucking eye. I don't care.
Yeah, I put it back. What do you want?
Fuck this guy.
He's right there. Maybe next week.
All he did is take one eye, and you took
You have-
Svetlana's shoes and both her eye colors.
Hey, I've lost another eye as well.
That was just chaos. That was literal chaos.
Okay.
Nothing to do with this.
I need to get my other eye back from my brother at some point.
You took away Svetlana's shoes. 2 shoes. You lost
Both of
one
them.
eye.
Yeah, and it was for
That-
like 2.5 minutes.
And I
You
still
see,
don't have that
this
eye.
is a lesson to everyone about getting attached to things. All right, you cannot be attached to the worldly or otherworldly, because then it makes you behave like this.
It was fun.
I had a good time.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you know what that means. I must bid you au revoir and sayonara, and remind you as always to be good, to take care of yourselves. You can't be good. Don't
Don't get caught.
Caught.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Sweet dreams.
I can't wait to see what happens next week.
Yeah. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.